My interview for Cambridge was a lot easier. I mean, talking about buildings was genuinely like much easier than talking about me. If my college application journey was a building, it would be completely surrealist. Both of my parents were out of town, so I had them on video call, and I think I took about 5 minutes to actually just click on the UCAS link and open it. But when I did, we were all so happy, of course. My parents were crying, I was crying, and it was such an amazing day. I don't think I'll forget it very soon. My name is Asmi Aggarwal. I went to the British School, New Delhi, and I will be going to Cambridge this fall to study design. One thing I'm really looking forward to is meeting people who are so passionate about the subjects they want to do, about the fields they want to pursue. And that's actually one of the reasons that I chose Cambridge in the first place. And that's one of the conversations that I really want to have as a part of my college journey. I think obviously one of my biggest supports was my mom. Supported me emotionally. She supported me by adjusting to my sleep schedules, by helping me with my last minute submissions and reading my essays when my eyes were like completely glazed over and everything. So I would say my mom, and also very much my friends, because I tend to kind of get too much into my head and overthink things, and you kind of need someone to pull you out of the spirals that you get into with this whole application process, and my friends were always very much there for that. When I first came to Athena, I was kind of intimidated because you see all of these people going around, they're all working, they all have these huge goals, and you see someone talking about some big capstone project here or some research paper they're writing, and all of these things seem so big and so impressive and so, daunting. But now I think when you've been through that whole process and having Athena support me with all of that, I've kind of realized that it's best to not let yourself get overwhelmed and to take things in small steps, because it's very strange how many things can happen just by taking it slow and doing one thing at a time. Getting a research paper written and published is something that I was really scared by, because it seems like something you can only do maybe when you're in your 20s doing a PhD and you know everything about your entire subject and whatever it is you want to do. But I've realized that it's so much a journey of discovery, and doing it myself, I've kind of felt more secure about what I know and what I want to learn and what I want to do. And I think that's been one of the best experiences for me. And Athena has been so supportive with editing, with ideation, with even publishing and everything else. And I'm so grateful for that. So the course I'm doing is called design, and it's part architecture, part engineering, and part material science. And whenever I say that, it sounds so scattered, and that's kind of how I felt when I started approaching this, because there's so many different components, and that's generally what gets you with a design profile. Is you need to have a fantastic portfolio, you need to have good grades, you need to have great extracurriculars. And I had so much passion for it, but I didn't really know what to do with it. And that's really where Athena came in, and it helped me kind of turn that passion into a more cohesive profile and create a theme and a niche around which I was really interested in, which I actually wanted to do just for myself and not for my college profile. So obviously it's really hard to get a building built when you're 16, 17 years old. So I kind of started really small. There is this settlement near my school where I noticed there were a lot of waste management problems, and I felt like that's a problem that I really wanted to solve. So I started by creating this dustbin, and it sounds kind of funny when you talk about it, but this dustbin was supposed to help combat the problem of waste management, which is so huge in a city like Delhi, on a very small scale. And I started by designing the inside first, thinking about how it would compost organic material, how it would deal with inorganic material, and then creating a facade that would sort of mirror that sustainable and eco-friendly ideology. So some of the colleges that I got into were UCL, Cambridge, Cornell, and Carnegie Mellon. And of these, I think the ones that were really hardest for me to choose between were Cambridge and Cornell, because They both have such different things to offer, but in the end, I think with the help of Athena and my parents and everyone else in making this really big decision, I was able to focus on the things that mattered to me the most, which were a sense of community, obviously course rigor, and interdisciplinarity. I think one really big factor in me choosing my design course at Cambridge over the architecture course at Cornell was the interdisciplinarity which I was getting. I think I've always been interested in a lot of different things, and that's one of the things I guess that lead people to pick architecture in the first place. But the idea that you could combine the function of a building with its form, with the materials that make it, with the users and how they're going to fit into the whole scheme of it, I think that's something that Cambridge offered and which I really enjoyed. One really big asset I had when making my portfolio was that I live in Delhi. And the city is literally an entire portfolio in itself, from the Mughals to the colonials to all the structures that have been part of the city's history. I mean, there's no end of inspiration. And that's finally what ended up being my theme for both my portfolio and my IB extended essay, and a lot of my other work as well. So just bringing together the aspects of my belonging in this city and the city and how it's shaped all of its residents, which was my research paper, and also just how the buildings interact with each other. That formed such a huge inspiration for my work, and I'm really grateful to have lived here just for that. Athena really helped me with in this whole process is getting me out of my comfort zone, because I've always been focused on a certain type of medium. I've been focused on a certain type of thematic inspiration, even within this really large sort of biome of Delhi's environment. But I think where Athena really helped me was by encouraging me to be a little bit more daring when it came to working on my portfolio pieces, encouraging me to fail once in a while just to try something new and to see how it would work. And I think a lot of my best pieces came out of that, and I'm really grateful to my design mentors at Athena for helping me curate my portfolio and also create it in a more innovative way than I would have expected. One of the things I liked most about my essay writing sessions at Athena was the back and forth, because you kind of don't realize some of the weird, idiosyncrasies or eccentricities that you have could be interesting in an essay, or could be indicative of something that might be something that admissions officers are looking for. So having the opportunity to kind of discuss and talk at length about what is important to you and who you really are, I think bringing out the interesting aspects of yourself is something that was the best part of my essay writing sessions here. I think it was a really strange day to get my Cambridge acceptance, because I was right in the middle of my exams. I had a math exam that day, a math exam the next day, and I was basically just in a whole panic spiral. But when I got home, I just figured, okay, why not? Let's open it. And both of my parents were out of town, so I had them on video call, and I think I took about 5 minutes to actually just click on the UCAS link and open it. But when I did, we were all so happy, of course. My parents were crying, I was crying, and it was such an amazing day. I don't think I'll forget it very soon. Challenging, supportive, warm, I guess. I've always felt a sense of warmth here.